Hey, thanks for downloading and tuning in to the Daily Drive. I'm Mike Bro, and we hang for a few minutes Monday through Friday, just trying to get to know God better. And to do that, we are looking at the life of Jesus through the Gospel of John. Even though John says at the end that he could have written down so many more amazing things that Jesus did, he highlights 7 miracles that were signs to prove to everybody that Jesus was God in the flesh. So let's pick it back up today. We're in chapter 10. Verse 22, it says, "It was now winter, and Jesus was in Jerusalem at the time of Hanukkah, the festival of dedication. He was in the temple, walking through the section known as Solomon's Colonnade." Verse 24, the religious leaders surrounded him and asked, "How long are you going to keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, just tell us plainly." And I love how Jesus responds. He says, "I've already told you, and you don't believe me." Now, these guys did not have the Gospel of John like us, but Jesus says all the way through the Gospel of John, "I told you, I'm the one who came from heaven. I told you, whoever believes on me has eternal life. I told you, I am the unique Son of God. I told you, I will judge all humanity. I told you, the Hebrew Scriptures all speak of me. I told you, I perfectly reveal God the Father. I told you, I always please God, and I never sin. I told you, I'm uniquely sent from God. I told you before Abraham was, I am. I told you I am the Son of God, prophesied by Daniel. I told you I will raise myself from the dead. I told you I'm the bread of life. I told you I'm the light of the world. I told you I'm the door. I told you I'm the gate. I just told you I am the good shepherd." See, the problem wasn't that Jesus was unclear about who he was and where he came from. The problem was that the religious leaders had hard, self-centered hearts of unbelief that they just wanted to blame on Jesus. So Jesus tells them, "The proof is the work I do in my Father's name. You've heard my words, and you've also witnessed my works. But you don't believe me because you're not my sheep. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me. In fact, I give them eternal life, and they will never perish. No one can snatch them away from me. For my Father has given them to me, and he is more powerful than anyone else." I have a buddy I used to play basketball with. We were in a rec league in Las Vegas, and our team was the Geckos. Yeah, I know, dumb name. But Scott was a great friend and a great basketball player. He's NAIA All-American who played with Athletes in Action for a stint. He was a great player, about 6'5", so fun to play with. And I have played with some phenomenal players. But this dude had the strongest hands I have ever seen in my life. They were like vice grips. He would actually hold the ball right out in front of the defender, who would swipe down at it and then see the ball not move a centimeter. Scott would just smile and go by the guy and just lay it in. He was amazing. Strongest grip I've ever seen. But gang, nothing compared to the grip God has on you and me. Jesus says this, and I hope it gives you hope and security. He says, "No one can snatch them from my Father's hand." His grip is immovable. So just know that whatever life or the enemy throws your way, man, you're in good hands. And then Jesus concludes by repeating, "The Father and I were one." Verse 31, once again, the people, the religious leaders, picked up stones to kill him. Jesus said, "At my Father's direction, I have done many good works. For which one are you going to stone me?" And they replied, "We're not stoning you for any good work, but for blasphemy. You, a mere man, claim to be God?" And then Jesus talks again about he and his Father are one, that everything he has said and every miracle he has done was at the direction of his Father. They try to stone him. They try to arrest him, but he slips away. And it says he goes to the other side of the Jordan River, where John the Baptist used to baptize people. And unlike the hard-hearted religious leaders, many over there on the other side of the Jordan believe in his words, and they believe in his works, and they accept him as the Son of God, and they become his sheep. And then John records the miracle that would be the backbreaker for the religious leaders. I mean, they already despise Jesus. The way he accepts people right where they are, the way he hangs out with those people that they have labeled notorious sinners, the way he seems to violate God's law, which Jesus never does, only their self-righteous, self-serving interpretation of it. They hate the way the people hang on his every word. They hate his miracles. They even blame the devil for his power. They really don't like Jesus at all, and they want Jesus to go away. But what John records in chapter 11 sends them completely over the edge, and now they want him dead. It says this in verse 53 of chapter 11. So from that time on, the Jewish leaders began to plot Jesus' death. So next week, we'll go back to the beginning of chapter 11, and we will see what happened to instill such fear, insecurity, hate, and venom in these men. It's an awesome story that takes my breath away, and it took away my fear of dying. So you got to come back Monday. Until then, keep a soft heart. Live in the words and in the works of Jesus. He is who he said he was. And he's going to put an exclamation point on it next week. Hope you have a great weekend. See you back Monday.